on this episode of Trigger Control.
The team flies to Texas.
And by fly, we mean drive. We drive straight through, only stopping for food and pee-pee breaks. 17 hours later.
We arrive in Gordon, Texas for the World Pistol Shootout at Infinity's gorgeous range and factory facility.
It is a super nice range. Here's kind of the lay of the land. This is what we were looking at for the day. We had a check-in trailer. There's the vendor-sponsor food truck. This is where we parked. First thing we had to do is go sign a waiver and do our check-in at the trailer. Then off over to the facility for a magazine check to confirm 140 mil length. Then off to the shooters meeting where we were going to start our day, and we were starting on stage 3.
Let's first start off by saying it is 29 degrees outside in Texas. I should have drawn right away at the buzzer. Instead, I realized halfway back I didn't, so I had to wait till I got all the way back to my position before I could draw, and it was an unloaded start, so I was already behind on the game. This back area I really liked a lot, coming through the window, good target pickup right away. Obviously, I'm moving very slow. It was super, super cold. I wasn't thinking.
So cold, I had a hoodie on.
Tony had a hoodie on. So, brain freeze translates to body freeze, translates to a standing reload because I forgot to count my rounds. There we go, standing reload. Which threw me off even more because the whole front was an absolute catastrophe. I had done my walkthrough, I knew exactly what I was going to do, and oh, wait, hold on, I forgot to get one from there. Okay, now we can go into the corner and get that last one on the end.
So maybe it wasn't the best idea to use a brand new gun that I've never shot. I've never done an unloaded start and then yanked on the mag before I engaged targets to ensure I had it seated. Talk about uncertainty. Found the dot no problem, but trigger press was completely new. Stage planning with only 4 minutes, no prior walkthrough, and couldn't walk the stages in between shooters. Everything was just hectic, including trying to find my magazines there. And when I finally found it, I decided to start running. We talked about how cold it was, cold enough for me to see my breath in Texas. So, I wasn't having the fastest movement on this stage. The back part here, I think I finished pretty solidly. It wasn't too bad. Definitely not off to a good start.
And we're off to
Stage 2.
This was actually a really fun stage. I was really proud, even though it was super early in the morning and I was still getting my bearings about me. I executed everything exactly like I planned. He didn't plan that, but my execution was on point. I did everything I intended to do. My shots were really good. I did have like a little brain fart right after I engaged these two targets where I had to reload before going, but I did it standing still, not moving at all, not covering any ground, and I had to re-engage that popper. Then to the far end and all the way down to the very, very far away swinger, all the way downrange. And I got it.
This one, I did execute how I wanted to. This RO can't stop tripping. He tripped all day, and then he caught some frag to the mouth. I like this position. I wish I would have backed up a little more on the move to get into this position sooner. But overall, it wasn't too bad. Reload right at the end of this. Right here, you can see I fucking forgot what I was doing, and I tried hitting the poppers on the move, realized I should settle down a little bit, especially with the newer gun. Still moving slow, still very cold in the morning, and I did get 2 alpha on that swinger. Next stage. Stage 1.
This is by far the worst stage that I had all day long. It was a memory stage. They had a lot of targets that were visible from multiple spots, so you really had to have your game plan set early on and really cement it in. I was the first shooter up on this particular stage, which meant I had very little time to make that game plan. Some of these far shots, I was actually surprised I did really well on. There was a swinger over there. I got that one. This position, I planned to shoot a target to the left. Look, I engaged it. I looked right at it and realized, oh, I must have already shot that one. I didn't actually shoot that one, but I still looked at it, so I got 2 mic and a failure to shoot at on that one. But it is what it is, and finished off strong without hitting that no-shoot.
There was nothing strong about this stage for me. Except this first part, I was pretty confident with. Like, hey, doing good. Up until this point, enter this position, going good. Right about here, aside from someone's thumb who doesn't know how to record, right here is where I was like, nope, I already shot that. Reload. I shot here. I thought they were fine. When I actually went back and shot it again, I actually nailed the no-shoot when I went back. That target that I just looked at had a complete brain fart here. Absolutely hate the stage. Now, if only this walk happened this fast in real life. But now, we were off to
Stage 6.
Yep, this one was fun because it had a different start, right? Seated, loaded, hands woven above your head. A lot of far distance shots, a lot of challenging shots. Obviously, that was easy. A lot of long distance shots here, and a lot of those long distance shots had no shoots in front of them. So you can see I'm like super cautious here, super cautious, right? And moving hopefully faster. There we go. Finally picked up my speed. And now I'm like, okay, I'm in fast mode, right? Get all these targets. Don't shoot too fast. Just move your body fast, right? Be cautious on your targets. Oh, shit. Don't forget to stop, right? I was totally ready to run all the way up to that last window and realized there was another stop along the way. So, good thing I didn't pass it. I did hit it.
Ah, yes, the seated start stage. Well, highlight of this stage, spicy splits incoming. Yes. Lots of far shots, lots of tight shots, good angles on this. This whole match kind of gave more of an IPSC flavor according to other people. And that also highlights, like this area right here, I really need to focus on fitness and explosiveness and being able to run faster because I lose a ton of time there. But these short little 1, 2, 3, stop, 1, stop, finish, stop. Like, there's a lot of that going on at this whole match, especially this stage.
Then we walk what feels like miles and miles all the way down the road to
Stage 7.
This one started out really well, like really snappy transitions, on point, even the far shots, very happy with that. Not moving my body as quickly as I should have.
Walking,
correct. And losing track of everything because just like I did on our very first stage, stage 3, I ran out of ammo right here in this window and had to do a standing reload again because apparently I can't count. Coming around the corner, felt really good about that. Engage these targets, and then what I'm not able to do confidently, I was actually engaging these on the move as I was coming in, which I was very happy with. I like the order that I engaged them in. I was very pleased with this one.
my favorite stage of the day. Ooh, looky, the platypus, kind of the star of the show. Really cool to have a gun that was just, $1,700, getting a lot of questions asked by people with $12,000 guns on their hip. It was a good feeling. This stage was definitely more my speed, very USPSA style, as opposed to IPSC like the rest of the stages. Step in off the draw, tight shot between the barrels. I did have a little mess up here, saw a target and forgot. That's not part of the stage plan. Gun up, boom, 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 snappy to the right, boom, boom. Move quick, gun up to the window. And right after I finished this array, drop the mag and then reload, I snapped right to the target through the window around the corner. I was very happy. I did not like how I engaged this array. I like Jackie's plan on this part a little better.
Lunchtime.
Lunch was donated and provided by OMG Tacos. So if you decided to make that long 3/4 mile long trek.
Yeah, if. I really wanted to try these tacos. They're supposed to be super good, but we decided to stay by our bay and, well...
Tony? Tony. He's sleeping. And Joe. Also sleeping. Guess not.
So I decided to take a nap and have a sandwich, as did Jackie and Joe. And then we were off to...
Stage 8.
So, first one after lunch, draw. I wanted to make sure I engaged these two on the left and the right first. I knew that once I got to the front and I cleared these two, that I had a long haul and I could just pass that completely and really take advantage of speed and not have to stop twice going forward, which obviously me picking up speed is already a hassle, so the longer distances I can get in, the better. And this little monster at the back was such a huge pain. There were so many people hitting the no-shoots on that one. I didn't.
Jackie and I had slightly different plans on this one. I was going to retreat all the way to the back. And coming up here is my first trigger freeze with the platypus. Oh, memories. This part of the stage I really liked. Transitioning back and forth here. These angles were a little tighter than I remember in walkthrough, which is why I had that little bobble. I really like my reload right here. Found that pretty sporty. I actually took this little triple stack a lot faster than I thought. And some spicy splits. Quick little hop over to
Stage 9.
This one had a really neat setup. Unloaded start, you had to engage one array first and then engage the second array. Poppers are one array, papers another array. So you could see poppers and papers from both sides, so you had to kind of go back to where you started a second time. Everybody had to, just which side were you going to do and which array were you going to do first. Coming into this table here, I really wanted to engage a target on the move. Didn't quite happen, so standing reload and engaging that one on the far left. Finishing out through here, I do believe I had, I don't know if it was a mic or a no shoot somewhere in here. I did have a little hiccup, and then, oh, overstep. I have a terrible habit of doing that.
This is the one stage that I really thought I had the plan nailed down. And turns out I didn't. Because that target right there to the left, that's next to those double white barrels, I was supposed to shoot, and I didn't. So, unbeknownst to me at this point, I already have 2 mics on this stage. I did enjoy getting that target soon and getting the reload through. Again, back at this window, you had another opportunity to shoot it, and I don't. So, 2 mics. To the mystery stage, which is
Stage 10.
Alright guys, so this is the stage that was not published in the matchbook, and for good reason apparently. You had to engage the steel 1 through each tunnel. Mandatory, otherwise it was a procedural and that activated a triple plate swinger. As you can see, oh, got a foot fault. This was not the easiest stage for me, obviously because I'm a little bigger and out of shape. I did, however, go through it. Not gonna lie, I did contemplate taking the procedurals to see if it would save me, and take into account that foot fault, had I had hindsight, I probably should have just shot them standing, then running up this hill, shooting, going over here, being careful not to play Humpty Dumpty down this fucking hill.
My approach at the tunnel was a lot different from most people's. I didn't have to go prone, so I didn't have to take as much time getting up off of the ground.
Very creative.
Because I'm super short. My initial run through on this was actually really funny because I did like a half split forward and had my foot sitting out in front of me and just jumped right back up. Although for my sake of my knees and the seam of my jeans, I decided against doing that for the real run. I did go 1 for 1 on the steel, engaged these really aggressively, shot the lower one in on the move on my way into the tuxedo, which I had to take 3 shots on, but I got the points.
Just when you thought we were done walking and walking, now we had to go all the way back to the other side for
Stage 5.
Buzz and we're off. Okay, so I'm not moving as quickly as I should, clearly. I did really love my stage plan, though. I was really happy with the way I had set everything up, that what I was going to execute in what order, 1 for 1 on the steel. That made me really excited, so I did actually run really fast here, like I should have. Hooray. Unfortunately, 3 strikes. I finally got the popper down, got those last ones in the corner, and this is moving a lot slower. I think that I was feeling like I was a lot closer to those windows, that I had the time because I needed to do those reloads, but even this stuff through the window, some of these were, I was doing way too cautious. The no shoots were really throwing me off and making me overly cautious.
So this first part of the stage, Jackie did way better than I did. I felt like, look, oh shit, there's no window. And, oh, no target. I don't know. It seemed like everything in the stage was moved to the left. Or so I thought. The angles were really hard. This one was interesting, because to me there was no way to set up well on the target, just as best you could. I was happy with this transition to this window. That was pretty quick. I don't know why I was so slow on that open target. And 1 big step over, finish the stage. And last but not least,
Stage 4.
Last stage of the day, unloaded start, mags come from tables, got it loaded really quickly. I was happy with that, but lost my balance, dummy, and engaged everything just like I had planned, just a lot slower motion than I planned. Got all those through the port, went 1 for 1 on the steel. This part was really fun. So a lot of these targets you could see from one spot. I think there were 2 or 3 that you had to move positions for, so I wanted to get as many as possible before I reloaded, because all the mags have to come from the tables. As I came over into the side, I got a little bit more quick movement back. Wasn't engaging them as quickly as I wanted to, but my movement was, I was happy with my movement on those.
I really hate this stage because of what you're going to see here momentarily. I had a different plan. I grabbed both mags, put one on the magnet, loaded going forward. Most people shot this position first, then went forward. So I usually don't load from a magnet. I don't use it, and I never use it with Glock mags. And I didn't realize that they fall off with the slightest bump, like that. So instead of retrieving it from the ground, because I had just spent too much time on the ground in stage 10, I decided to retrieve it from the table. Remember when I said back on our stage like 3, their very first stage, I tugged on the mag and I never do that? I should have done that here because I didn't smack the mag in all the way. After all that bullshit, the stage plan went out the window. I engaged this target, I shot over here, I thought I had to take the long shot there instead of in the last position, and then I finish off with an angry 3-tap. So at the end of each day, they had a shoot-off to see who would take the money home, but we were going to take off early and try and get a head start on the ride home, but someone else was in the...
Me! Yep, that's right. I won a random seat to the 8th slot in the shoot-off against Christian Seiler.
Good luck. Jaki and Christian.
He's like, you want to hate the kid. But he's so
Shooters,
fucking
are
nice.
you ready? Stand by.
Off to a very slow start against Christian. Got my gun. First thing is the balance beam, and that was lacking. Got my first set of targets. 1 for 1 on those. Not as fast as I'd like, but I still went 1 for 1 on those. Also on the white ones, 1 for 1. Under the Cooper's tunnel and onto my second balance beam, which went way better than my first one. This next array took me a little bit to catch up on. And don't know if you can hear it, but that's about the time Christian stopped shooting because he finished already. So I'm struggling to get these last 2, 1 and 2. Mandatory reload, and then I have to engage the stop plate. Game over.
I think you did a fantastic job, but like the other guy said,
You want to hate the kid. But he's so
Shooters,
fucking
are
nice.
you ready?
that wraps up this match, guys. Big thanks to Uncle Joe for enduring the whole experience with us. We are looking forward to shooting next year's World Pistol Shootout number 2. On the next episode,
The team heads to the Michigan sectional.